It's great to be here in San Antonio, man. You guys give it up for yourself, for this crowd. That's great. That's awesome. Literally nothing else you could be doing on a Wednesday night. So, I'm actually from East Texas myself. Drove in from East Texas today. I'm from a pretty white trash part of East Texas too. You know, like the kind of white trash where your Sunday school teacher and your first kiss. It's usually the same person. My Aunt Carol, actually. Too much tongue Carol, that's what we always call her. But I was raised pretty white trash in East Texas too, from a kid. Like, I was raised in government apartments there for like the first 5 years of my life by a single mom in the 90s, okay? This is before parenting is what it is today, you know? They were just making it up back then. It was really still being beta tested, you know? It was like bowling, you know? They just did it on the weekends. Drunk, you know? But whoever was off work at our government apartments when my mom was gone, like that was our babysitter for the day. Sometimes overnight, you know? My sister and I would just wake up in the morning, there would just be a stranger smoking a cigarette on our couch, just like, you kids ever stripped copper before? It's a miracle we didn't get molested. Not that kind of crowd, huh? That killed at the Southern Baptist Convention last night. So, after my mom actually got married shortly after that to a Pentecostal pastor. I don't know if do you guys know what Pentecostal is? A church? No? Okay, it's like normal church. If someone ran through the back door and yelled bomb, you know? People will just take off running just as soon as the Spirit hits. They'll just start running around the church. Like, I learned how to block for football in church. You know? Like, it's crazy. Pentecostal women there are nuts, too. I don't know if you guys know, they have, like, Marge Simpson hair. And it's, like, 4 foot tall, held up by about 500 bobby pins. It's insane. And, like, the second they start shouting like that, man, you're just dodging bobby pins. Like it's grenade shrapnel. You know? It's crazy. Take that out. We, being a preacher's and a pastor's kid, you know, we grew up pretty poor. Like, we didn't have health insurance. Our health insurance was prayer. Like, my dad would just rub anointing oil on my broken arm. Like he was Mr. Miyagi, just, you know. I didn't really realize how poor we were until my mom sent me to school one day to pay for my lunch tray, my $3 lunch tray with a check that bounced. They have a picture of me up at the school, just, don't serve this kid. But my mom used checks like they were IOUs, like checks for everything. She never had cash. She didn't have credit cards or anything like that, just checks. Like, I got a check for my 16th birthday in 2005. I can cash that in 2028. She's like, I'm going to post-date this 20 years. But I do like being from East Texas. It's not bad. I do enjoy it. I'm from a real small country town there, though, too. Like, half of the population is legally named Bubba. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a Bubba out in the wild, but they're usually wearing the same outfit. Overalls, Crocs. That is an outfit that screams, don't check my search history. I've got Bubbas in my family too. you know, and I've never once had them give me any kind of information that I needed to know, you know. They've never been like, hey, Michael, here's what you want to know about Roth IRA. I've had them send me a picture of a shit they took. But I'm from a town called Grand Saline in East Texas. It's a town of like 3,000 people. And I didn't date a lot in Grand Saline too, you know, because it is a real small town. And it's kind of impossible to date anybody there, you know. I feel like you go on a couple of dates and you're like, man, we got along so well. We have so much in common. DNA. That's what we had in common. And a meemaw. I still fingered her though because I'm a Christian. You know. My daddy raised me right. One thing about East Texas that I do love are the doctor's offices there. Very sketchy. My doctor's office actually sits between a Boost Mobile and a 7-Eleven. I can get a prostate exam and a vape at the exact same time. And then 7-Eleven's like, you're done. You know? It's a very sketchy place. Like, there's signs everywhere on the wall that just say cash only. They give me the same medication for depression and a sinus infection. You know? Like, oh, Mr. Morgan, you're coughing up green mucus, huh? You're going to want these Xanax. I really knew it was sketchy when he took half of them with me. I got picked on a lot in school. Because like I said, I'm from a real small town, small school, very country. I got picked on a lot because I've always looked like this. You know, if Peter Pan played drums for Fall Out Boy, I got a style and I stuck with it, you know. I got picked on because I was in like theater and band and the arts, you know, and kids would call me gay for playing saxophone, which I did not realize saxophone was like a cornerstone of the gay community. But also in my defense, I've never once had a gay guy come up to me and be like, I like two things, hard cock, smooth jazz. You know? But I got tired of getting picked on in school, you know, so I was like, I gotta do something. So when I graduated, I joined the United States Marine Corps. But I was like, man, I'm tired of getting picked on. I need to go someplace that'll make a man out of me. I need to go somewhere that'll toughen me up. I want to go someplace where no one can ever call me gay again. Judging by the laughter, some of you guys understood the assignment. I went to the gayest place on earth. Like immediately when I got there, they were like, all right, Morgan, we're going to strip your clothes off. We're going to go put you in this weird conga line of 40 other naked men that they call nut to butt. I'm sure you guys can all picture that. But just in case not, you're just in a line like this, completely naked. And if you're a good person, you're covering your crotch. And you're all just in this weird, naked human centipede style line, you know? And you're all praying the same prayer, you know? Just, God, if you're real, don't let me get hard. So I'm an atheist. Lost my faith in God that day. It's just like, where were you when I needed? Okay, where were you when I needed you? I don't want to lie up here, so that's why I pulled it back a little bit. You know, I'm married. Been married for about 7 years now, and thank you. And she's like the man of our house. I don't know if anybody else has a relationship like that. Like, my wife's 5'10", and shits with the door open. And like, if I poop, I lock every door in the house. You know? She's just like, why do you never come in here and talk to me? You know, it's nuts. She is. She's a man of our house. Like, I only grew this beard so that when we go out places, people don't think she's a lesbian. You know? But relationships are hard. They are. I've been married for 7 years now, and it's hard to find stuff that you can do together, too, you know? Like, my wife, she likes to go dancing. She was in she was a cheerleader, she was in drill team, she can go to the club and dance, she can line dance, all of it. I was in musical theater. I don't know if you guys know this. There's no club where that works. Okay? There's not a club on earth that I can walk into and just be like, what's up, girl? Nowhere. So, you know, we also decided to try counseling after about 3 years ago because, like I said, marriage is hard. So we went to counseling maybe for 3 weeks. We quit going because our counselor called my wife a bitch. I will say, in her defense, I'm not sure how good of a counselor she was. She also worked part-time at Chipotle. But I will say, if you ever do find yourself in that scenario, as a man, stand up for your wife, okay? Men in here, stand up for your wife, okay? That's the right thing to do. What you don't want to do is go, babe, that's a professional opinion. I watched her write that down. Technically, that's a diagnosis. I'm also a dad. I've got 2 kids. I've got a 13-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. My daughter does cheers. She cheers for Little League football games. She's 6 years old. And my parents they don't come a lot of the time because they're getting older. So they were like, you know what, we're going to come to this game. We're going to surprise you. And they did by sitting on the wrong side, taking pictures of the wrong 6-year-old girl in a cheerleading outfit, and then so proud of how that little girl did, decided to text me about 20 pictures of a 6-year-old girl in a cheerleading outfit. I don't know if I've ever deleted anything faster in my entire life. But my son he's 13, and the second he turned 13, there was like a huge shift in the power dynamic in our house. Because remind you, my wife is 5'10". My 13-year-old son is also now taller than me and has a lower voice than I do. You know how hard it is to discipline a kid who has a lower voice than you do? It's got to feel like just getting yelled at by Mickey Mouse. You know? He's growing in a fuller beard than I am somehow. But he can buy me beer, so plus out there. But I'll end with this. I did actually have to give him the sex talk recently when he turned 13. Because my wife was like, you're the certified person to do that. Which I was like, have you ever had sex with me? I don't know. But I felt like it was my first day on the job as a pilot. And I lied on a resume. Like, I was so unprepared. It was crazy. But we did have a real sweet father and son moment. We both found out what a clitoris was together. Thank you guys so much.